There's so many places on earth I hope to visit in my lifetime, but ancient cities are always special for me. There's always this sense of how fragile these places and cultures are, like they might one day just disappear. I feel a certain responsibility to preserve a part of that in the photos and films I make there. Being a travel videographer is in some ways a bit of a curse. I find that when I travel, if I don't shoot a video about it, I'll regret it. Much of my work depends on Mother Nature. You only get what she gives you. Some days you work so hard you feel like you deserve to get that perfect shot, but really never quite works that way, and I guess you learn to be okay with that. The best shots are often the ones that take the most work to get. Shooting landscapes means chasing natural light and getting someplace at just the right moment. Hiking through uneven terrain and carrying gear uphill, long bumpy rides on the back of a truck, or waking up at 3 AM for a shot that may not even make the final edit. When you travel, you often get told to be careful, to not be too trusting, that this country or that city is dangerous. But I've been all around the world filming my travel logs, and that couldn't be further from what I've seen. I think that most people are generally good, kind and friendly. That's what I've learned from the many people I've met along the way. Take for example, Mr Shiva, our tour guide. He's the most dedicated guide I've ever had the privilege of working with. There were days when the schedule was frankly just insane. I'd set out before dawn and shoot all day until the sun set, then catch a few hours of sleep, trek up the side of a mountain to shoot the stars, and wait out in the freezing night to capture that perfect sunrise. He insisted on staying throughout, even when I told him I was fine on my own. Shooting travel means I often find myself placed in uncomfortable situations. Maybe it's the food or the weather or some unfamiliar culture, but as you go, you learn to be comfortable with discomfort because you know that when it's all over, you'll have the experience to keep and some amazing stories to tell. JC has always been my greatest support and inspiration. Without her, I don't think I could have done any of this. She's been with me on most of my trips, and after all the rough and challenging traveling we've had to do, I've never once heard her complain. There was a leg of our journey where we travelled to a village in Gorkha to help with some volunteer work. It was a long, bumpy 6-hour car ride down some incredibly rough terrain, followed by a night in a wooden hut with no running water. It was 7 degrees Celsius outside and there was no heater. I could tell from the look on her face that she was freezing. I don't think many people would have agreed to go through with that, and I'm truly thankful to have her as my companion. I don't know if the journeys and the videos I make will mean much to anyone else, but to JC and I, they mean so much. They help us freeze moments of our lives. The trips bring us further from everyone else, but closer to each other. Even while working on the edit, I sometimes find myself looking at her over and over again, memorizing the details of her face, her smile, and where we've been. I think documenting my travels has become one of the most important things that I'll ever do. Just like the places we visit, these moments and memories are fleeting. They exist only for a brief time, and then are gone. I hope that one day these videos will let me share these amazing experiences with my children, maybe even inspire them to have adventures of their own.